Long before Middle-earth knew him as Saruman the White, he was Curumo, a Maia in the blessed realm of Valinor. There, under the guidance of the Valar Aulë, Curumo delved into the secrets of the earth, honing his skill in crafting and creation. His talents were extraordinary, so extraordinary in fact, that even in a land of peace and perfection, Curumo stood out. But as we'll see in his story, his brilliance would lead him to depths no one had foreseen. Now, Tolkien didn't provide every detail about Curumo's life in Valinor, so much of what we'll discuss today is based on widely accepted lore interpretations and speculative legends. Yet, even with these gaps, we can still piece together a fascinating story. A story that begins in the timeless realm of Valinor, where centuries and millennia blur together and time flows differently, and what might seem like a single day to the Valar and Maiar could span vast ages by mortal reckoning. And so, to understand Saruman's fall, we must start at the beginning, his origins as Curumo, a Maia of Valinor. A prodigy of Aulë's forge, a spirit of immense skill and ambition, and, perhaps, a cautionary tale of how even the greatest talents can be undone by pride. In the blessed realm of Valinor, Curumo served as a Maia under Aulë, the master smith of the Valar. Aulë was renowned for his craftsmanship. He shaped the very substance of Arda and even created the dwarves in secret, and under his guidance, Curumo mastered the arts of crafting and creation, shaping metals and jewels and unlocking the hidden powers of the earth. As one of Aulë's Maiar, Curumo was known for his exceptional talent and dedication, earning him a reputation as one of Aulë's most capable servants. He was a prodigy, deeply immersed in the pursuit of mastery and perfection. His time in Aulë's forge shaped him into a being of immense skill and knowledge, traits that would later define his role in Middle-earth. But for now, in the timeless halls of Valinor, Curumo's story was one of dedication, ambition, and the pursuit of mastery. From the few references we have, we know that Curumo set high standards for himself and, by extension, for those around him. In Unfinished Tales, we learn he had little regard for Eivindil, better known as Radagast, whom Yavanna insisted accompany him as one of the Istari. Curumo wasn't thrilled about Eivindil joining him, hinting that he already saw some fellow Maiar as lesser or irrelevant to his vision. Though this instance is only referenced when the wizards were being selected, this kind of attitude likely began in Valinor. There are no explicit records that Curumo openly boasted of his skills in Valinor, yet the Saruman we see later, who calls Radagast a fool and dismisses his concerns, didn't spring from nowhere. It's very likely that the seeds of such pride were planted during these quiet days under Aulë's mentorship. Curumo was not the only gifted Maia under Aulë's tutelage. Another spirit, known as Mairon, later called Sauron, was equally brilliant. And just like Curumo, Mairon also had a passion for crafting and creation. Yet where Curumo sought mastery, Mairon craved outright order through control. This hunger for order soon led him astray, and in the First Age, he rebelled and joined Morgoth as his right hand, taking the name Sauron. And after Morgoth's defeat, Sauron sought to conquer Middle-earth and succeed where his master had failed. He was obsessed with imposing his own vision of order, and he believed that domination was the only means to achieve it. Mairon's brilliance was undeniable and matched only by his pride. He regarded himself as a visionary, one who could reshape the world through his singular will. This mindset was strikingly similar to Curumo's emerging self-regard. Both Maia harboured the darker possibilities that come when ambition goes unchecked. While Tolkien never explicitly states that Curumo and Mairon locked horns in Valinor, both served under Aulë, and both had a keen sense of pride, so it's not a big stretch to picture them as rivals. They were ambitious and driven by a need to outdo everyone around them. Curumo's work focused on elegance and precision, while Mairon's was bold and cutting-edge, often pushing the limits of what was possible. While Curumo refined his craft in the timeless realm of Valinor, the story of Middle-earth was anything but still. In the Second Age, Sauron, once Morgoth's right hand, arose to forge the One Ring, seeking dominion over elves, men and dwarves alike. Though the Free Peoples united against him, dealing a staggering blow in the War of the Last Alliance, Sauron was not destroyed and his spirit lingered, biding its time. With the fall of Numenor and his later defeat in the War of the Last Alliance at the end of the Second Age, many believed Sauron's threat had been silenced forever. Yet, as centuries passed into the Third Age, rumours of growing darkness emerged once more. In secret places, Sauron's shadow stirred, and whispers of his influence unsettled the elves, men, and all who remembered the horrors of the past. With the resurgence of darkness once more, the Valar watched from afar. They recalled how direct confrontation sank Beleriand in the First Age, and how a restrained approach led to Numenor's downfall in the Second. Determined not to repeat the devastations of the past, they resolved upon a more subtle response, one that would guide Middle-earth without dominating it. Thus, the plan to send the Istari started taking shape, and the decision to send them came around 1,000 years into the Third Age, once it became clear that the dark power rumoured to lurk in Dol Guldur, and the growing unrest across the lands all pointed to Sauron's return. The Valar believed that only through counsel, unity and wisdom, and not raw might, could the Free Peoples stand against the resurrected threat. Curumo's intellect, confidence and mastery of lore made him the perfect candidate to counter Sauron's cunning. Taking on the name Saruman, meaning man of skill, he prepared to leave Valinor and embark on a mission that would test his wisdom, his pride, and his very soul. And so, Curumo, now known in Middle-earth as Saruman, alongside Gandalf, Radagast, and the two mysterious blue wizards, were sent to walk Middle-earth as emissaries, the Istari. Some accounts hint that Saruman stepped forward first, though others say Manwë wanted Gandalf to lead. Either way, Saruman claimed the White Mantle, convinced he was the ideal figure to outwit Sauron, never suspecting how that task would reshape his destiny. Long before he set foot in Middle-earth, the seeds of Curumo's pride were already there, subtle at first, but unmistakable to those who looked closely. Saruman's origins in Valinor were noble, but his pride and ambition would prove to be his greatest weaknesses. As he set out for Middle-earth, he carried with him the seeds of his own downfall, seeds that would one day bloom into betrayal and ruin. Tolkien left much of Saruman's early years in Valinor shrouded in mystery, giving us only glimpses of his time in Valinor. So, does this make his story more interesting and engaging, or do you wish we had more lore about his past? And do you think his fate was sealed from the beginning, or could he have walked a different path? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And since you've reached this far, I want to thank you for watching the video, and if you're enjoying these deep dives into Tolkien's legendarium, be sure to like and subscribe, as we will be exploring more lore and going into more detail about Saruman and the rest of the Istari's arrival in Middle-earth.